God.
Those savages are threatening our whole operation.
See, I'm something of a
big fucking heart hero. Little fight meal. I like that.
You in my house, motherfucker!
You've called out the thunder. Now, get ready for the boom!
What's up, savages?
What's up?
As always, I'm E Middle.
And I'm Bart.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Savage MMA Show. So, man, Cormier takes out our boy Stipe.
Winner and not still champion. And not still.
Winner. Yeah, winner. Looks like he ate 12 chicken dinners, man.
Exactly. That was Fat Cormier. Cormier came to play.
His gut was hanging out over his fucking shorts, man.
Oh, man, he was fat shit for that. I mean, I think that's how, we were talking about it on Saturday night. I think that's how he got his power, though. I think he fattened up just so he could get that power going for the fight.
You know, and I may be hating, but I'm not going to give him the same credit everyone else is. Fuck that, man. He landed one punch.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was that happens all the time, though, man. Like,
yeah.
It's just the way it is. It is what it is.
He was getting his ass whipped.
He was, but Stipe had him one mistake, and it was fatal. You know, it proved to be the reason why he lost the belt.
And all this talk about Cormier being the greatest of all time, shut that shit down. Cormier, if you want to say he's the greatest of all time, John Jones. That's all.
Not greatest of all time. I would give him maybe greatest heavyweight of all time, but
I won't even give him that because he only has one fight, like one championship fight at heavyweight. You got to do more than that.
Well, most of his history came on Strikeforce.
Yeah, I mean, but still, just because you
can't really
beat the guy that everybody's talking about. Just because you beat the guy everyone's talking about being the best doesn't automatically make you the best. If that's the case, Matt Serra is the greatest fucking middleweight of all time. Get the fuck out of here.
True. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's true. And, I mean, he hasn't really fought a laundry list of fucking UFC fighters for the heavyweight title.
So, I mean, all in all, I thought this was a pretty good card top to bottom.
It was a pretty good card, yeah. The main event and the co-main event were actually the weaker fights on the main card.
Yeah, it wasn't as electric as I thought it was going to be.
Hell no.
But we got a lot of the outcomes we thought we were going to get.
True.
But I don't know what the fuck Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis were up to.
Yeah, Ngannou's soul got taken before he even came into the cage.
Stipe still has his soul.
He ate it. Stipe ate his soul. And then Derek Lewis apparently had a back injury.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just a complete shit show. They should have fucking canceled. Knowing that, they should have fucking canceled the fight. I would have rather than put something else up there than had that shit.
Did he get injured before the fight, or was it during the fight? And that's
Came in hurt.
Okay. See, I thought it happened during the fight.
That's why we got such a shit show of a fight. Like, Derek Lewis would have at least been throwing more punches had he not been hurt of that. He has the same back injury as our boy Cody Garbrandt did back like last year when he had to withdraw from the TJ Dillashaw fight.
Having those spasms?
Yeah, so he has to go overseas to get that shit worked out.
Yeah. That sucks, man.
That was a trash fight. We'll go ahead and call it what it was.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking bad.
It's one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, professionally and non-professionally. Like, we're talking, like, that was some, like, high school, like when two kids fight in high school, you know, and that both can't fight for shit. That's pretty much what we saw.
It was a very amateur fight, man.
It was amateur level on every possible level. And they were so timid. Like, Ngannou acted like he was scared to even throw a punch.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that later. Let's jump back and start on the prelims and come up through this whole card.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the early prelims, The first fight we saw, Emily Whitmire beat Jamie Moyle. Not very exciting.
No. Move on.
Yeah, I think we both picked Emily Whitmire.
I don't even know if we picked that fight at all. I think we might have just surpassed it.
We may not have picked it. I don't know. So, Dan Hooker versus Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, we called that one.
Dan Hooker,
quick knockout.
he's on a roll, man. That's 4 in a row, and he's beat some good dudes in that roll.
Yeah, it's time for Dan Hooker to get a little bit better fight card spot. A little bit more showcase for Dan Hooker. He deserves it.
Yeah, I kind of thought he should be higher up on the card anyway. But
absolutely. We were both surprised to see him that low.
With the performances he's put forth lately, you would think so. I know UFC's headed back to Australia later this year.
Definitely be on that card.
Yeah, well, he's a New Zealand fighter, so I definitely say he'll be on that card. I'd say we'll get him, Tyson Pedro. I don't know if they're going to let Mark Hunt fight again, though.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Didn't Dana White pull him from the last fight himself?
Possibly. I don't particularly remember, but
remember he's having some injuries, like concussion type stuff going on.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's been fighting forever. You got to expect that.
Yeah, so Dan Hooker wins. Got to think he gets somebody good next.
Oh, I think so too.
He's already
beat. You have to give him somebody good.
I mean, he's already beat 4 dudes in a row.
In a row, yeah. I mean, and he's knocking them down too. Like it's with emphasis that he's doing it.
Yeah, I think that's at least his second big finish in a row. I think it's more closer to 3 knockout. Though.
Mhm.
So we'll see where that shakes him up at in the rankings. Fights at 155. I don't really know who else is towards the bottom of that division. Yeah,
I'm not really sure at the moment, but yeah, he definitely deserves a better fight.
Well, let's take a look here. That's Paul Felder division, Alexander Hernandez, James Vick, Al Iaquinta, Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa is not going to fight at 55 again, though.
No, Chase is moving up.
Moving up to 170. But at 155, he could fight a lot of guys down there at the bottom of that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty stacked division.
Very, very much so.
So then we move on to the prelims on FS1, and definitely had a good card on FS1.
Yeah, they didn't disappoint at all.
We got Curtis Millender and Max Payne. And I picked Max Payne to win the fight.
We both did. Yeah, we both did.
But he didn't pull it off.
Nope.
Curtis Millender train is rolling.
Yeah, it is. He looked way better than Max Payne did.
Yeah, he looked better than Max Payne for sure. Easily won the fight.
What was the next one?
Drakkar Klose versus Lando the fucking Greaseball Venata.
Oh, yeah. That one was forgettable.
That was forgettable. Drakkar Klose
I honestly don't even remember who won that fight.
Drakkar Klose got the win.
That was a horrible one.
Moves him to 8-1. That was pretty. Yeah. It was forgettable.
It was bland. I don't remember anything like technically savvy. I don't remember anything like spectacular. It was forgettable. It can possibly be.
Yeah, it didn't impress me all that much.
No.
I think Klose just more or less controlled the fight.
True.
Because they're looking at the stats, their strike numbers weren't very far off, but Klose had a lot more control time. So
what did it?
Then we have Rafael Assunção beating down Rob Font, just fucking annihilated Rob Font.
Rafael Assunção looked fantastic in that fight.
He did, man. He completely. Rob Font didn't do it. He didn't do anything.
He had nothing for him.
Suntao showed his class in this fight, and then he called for a title fight. And you got to think he deserves it at this point.
He won't get it though. He won't get it.
Like what?
Not gonna let us. I refuse to believe that he'll actually let Suntao. I was reading something actually that said yeah, he's a beast, but he's not going to get a title shot.
The only dude ranked ahead of him is Dominic Cruz, and Dominic Cruz, I don't know if he'll ever fight again.
Yeah. It's questionable whether we'll see him or not.
I mean, we're looking at 2 years, I think, since he fought, since Garbrandt whipped his ass and did some push-ups.
Did some breakdancing.
Garbrandt,
that was the greatest.
Garbrandt completely embarrassed him, and he's moved on to announcing now. I don't know if we'll see him back in the octagon.
I don't think Dominic Cruz should come back, honestly.
I don't think there's any reason for him to come back.
Yeah, he already had a pretty damn good career, and he obviously isn't as good as he used to be. Stay the fuck into the commentator's box, just stay in your lane.
Yeah, he definitely should just.
He's actually doing a pretty good job commentating. He was pretty good on.
Other than his bias for the guys he trains with.
Oh God, yeah.
He has been a pretty good commentator. I saw some awards gave him Commentator of the Year the other day. I don't think anyone other than Joe Rogan should ever win that award, but that's just me personally.
Agreed.
So then we move on to the main event of the prelims. Paulo Costa versus Uriah Hall, and man, this thing got weird.
Yeah, extremely weird. Really fast, too.
Yeah, Paulo Costa nut shots Uriah Hall 3 times, loses a point.
Yeah, I think we're going to rename him from the Eraser to the Nutcracker.
Yeah, we definitely have to at this point. That was ridiculous, man.
At least one of those 3 were blatant as fuck. That one where he was against the cage.
Oh, it was for sure.
He straight up donkey kicked him straight in the sack.
And the other thing is, Paulo Costa, from what I remember seeing him, doesn't even throw kicks very often. So, a guy that doesn't throw kicks very often and all of his kicks land in the nuts, come on, man.
I was noticing something, too. I don't know if you noticed it. Paulo Costa seemed to be playing with his hair in the fight more than he did almost anything else.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
He fell down and I don't know if I can claim him anymore.
I don't know. He's still a fucking animal.
He's an animal, a juiced up animal, but he's an animal.
You think he's roided? He says he's not. He swears he's not. He gets tested.
It's hard to believe that he's not. It's kind of like the Yoel Romero situation all over again with me. It's hard to justify that he is not juicing. Except, if he hasn't been caught, I guess you have to believe him. But it's hard to believe.
I think we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's hard to believe, man.
Hard to believe.
And this guy,
especially considering the Brazilian pedigree of steroids.
Exactly, and
it's not like they've not been caught 100 million times.
Pretty much the most surprising part of this fight was that it made it out of the first round to me.
I thought the most surprising part of the fight was the fact Uriah Hall was holding his own for a little while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think Uriah Hall had a chance. I thought it was going to be like under a minute knockout. I thought it was going to look like that big rig fight.
Sure didn't.
It wasn't even
3 nut shots from the Nutcracker to really get things going.
And it wasn't even a vicious KO. It was more of accumulation. He just ate him alive after the second round started. So
I think Uriah Hall was fatigued. I think he threw everything he could at him in the first round. I think that's why he body shotted him, knockout.
Who do you want to see Paulo Costa fight next?
I want to see Paulo Costa fight. What division is he?
He's middleweight. So the guys above him, he was at 10. You got Uriah Hall. Okay. He's going down. Brad Tavares is coming down.
No,
David Branch, Derek Brunson, Jacare. Kelvin Gastelum's going to be fighting Yoel Romero. Then you got Chris.
Ooh.
Then you got Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold up there.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to see him and David Branch throw down.
Yeah, I think that as far as where he deserves, I think David Branch. I don't think you can, or either David Branch or Derek Brunson.
You know, we'd be excited for a David Branch fight.
David Branch, Paulo Costa. That would be a great fight, man. For me,
fucking sleep.
For me, that's like a fight night headliner. You know.
Yeah, it 100% is.
That's a chance for either one of those dudes. Yeah, that's either one of those dudes that makes them a bigger star. So
David Branch is a fucking beast.
Now, the part of me that is pissed off at Paulo Costa and wants him to fight Jacare.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he wants to fight Jacare, he's more than welcome to.
Because
he'll get humbled real quick.
I don't think he has a well-rounded enough game yet to fight Jacare.
He'll get eaten alive.
I think that's the level, because Chris Weidman up there too. I think Chris Weidman is just too savvy. He's too well-rounded for Paulo Costa.
Savvy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that would be just too much for Paulo right now because Paulo hasn't had enough experience.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Romero would kill him.
And then you got Israel Adesanya coming right up on his heels too, because he just beat a higher-ranked guy.
That's probably what we're gonna get.
I doubt it, man. I don't think you put two undefeated guys against each other like that, and this early, you know.
Yeah, you want them to kind of keep growing their stardom a little bit more until you get them that big fight.
Yeah, I'd say give one of those guys David Branch and the other Derek Brunson.
I would like to see, if it was me, I would like to see Branch and Paulo Costa and Brunson and Israel Adesanya. I think those are better matchups for one another.
Yeah, I like both those fights.
Because Brunson and Adesanya would be a fucking fun fight to watch too.
All right, man. Let's move on to the main event, the main card. Khalil Roundtree.
There was no main event, bro. There was no main event.
Khalil Roundtree Jr. sleeps Gokhan Saki.
God, Gokhan Saki just didn't seem like he knew where the fuck he was.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have definitely doesn't have the skills that we thought he did.
No, I mean, you have to have a well-rounded base to be good at a certain level in the UFC or mixed martial arts in general, and I just don't know if Gokhan Saki has it.
Yeah.
He's more stuck in the kickboxing.
I don't think he'll ever get to the top levels like we thought he had a chance to.
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't think Roundtree will either. So.
Well, Roundtree's going to get a shot at least to crack the rankings now.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can get into rankings. I'm talking championship level. We're not going to see a Roundtree.
The light heavyweight division's pretty weak at the bottom.
That's true. It's weak.
We got Smiling Sam Alvey in the top 15, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that does tell a lot. That says a lot right there.
And let's not take away from Roundtree by diminishing Gokhan Saki, because Roundtree did look really good. He dominated.
He did. Oh, man, he looked fantastic.
Not only did he dominate, he got a violent finish.
Yeah.
So
he was impressive. Like, I mean, props to Roundtree. I don't know what his ceiling is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well, it'll be interesting to see though. I'm not sure how old Khalil Roundtree is either.
He looks a lot older than he really is.
I think he's pretty young, isn't he? He's 28, maybe.
Yeah,
26, 28.
We were talking about he has that LeBron look to him. You know, it looks like he's 40, even though he's 30 years old.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was a pretty good show for sure.
Though. Like I like Khalil Roundtree.
I do too.
We'll see what his next fight, is scheduled to be. Because I mean, he did put a very impressive showing, so he deserves somebody good.
He's got a chance for sure.
Like a ranked guy, definitely deserves a ranked guy.
Yeah, so we move on from that fight, and we get Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis.
Showtime's back, baby.
Showtime is back. That was impressive, man.
Hell yeah, it was.
I didn't expect for him to look very good against Michael Chiesa, honestly.
Yeah, he pretty much looked good in every facet of the game.
I thought Chiesa brought a skill set that is the downfall of Anthony Pettis. On those are the kind of guys that have been his venom
Let's
so
not
far.
get it twisted. Chiesa was taking down Pettis at like an alarming clip.
He
so
was.
It's not like Chiesa sucked. He was doing some pretty big things, but Pettis just got him on that submission that was just filthy. That submission was nice.
It was nice, man, and that's what was shocking to me is you have Anthony Pettis finishing the submission artist, Michael Chiesa.
Right.
Yeah, Chiesa had 2 takedowns to Pettis' 0. Chiesa landed more strikes than Pettis, but Chiesa got him in a compromising position and threw the triangle on him.
Yep. He sure did.
So Showtime Pettis is back, and it sounded like
he's going to be the gatekeeper.
He's not going to be the fucking gatekeeper.
Nope, not going to be the gatekeeper.
And then afterwards he said, and I don't know, this may be true, that he's been focused too much on defense and not enough on offense lately, and that he thinks that's been his problem.
It could be true.
It could be true. I mean, this is going to throw him back towards the top 10. And
absolutely.
I'll tell you who I want to see him fight if he ever fucking returns.
Who's that?
Nate Diaz, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that'd be a really nice fight.
If he ever returns, I don't know if he ever will.
Big if on that one.
At this point,
we might see Dominic Cruz before we see Diaz.
At this point, we've seen Nate Diaz get arrested a couple times for fighting in the stands at other fights.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if that's something we'll ever see.
It's debatable whether we're going to see him ever again.
If we don't see him, the other guys around that ranking, because he'll jump back around 8 or 9. Gaethje, he's tied up. Edson Barboza, we've seen Showtime versus Barboza before.
Mm-hmm.
When Showtime lost to Barboza.
Yep.
Kevin Lee, I think he might need to win another fight before he gets any shot at Kevin Lee, because Kevin Lee to me is pretty close to a title shot again at the moment.
True. I agree.
We'll see what happens going forwards, but he's going to have to win again before he gets back on the championship path. That one win's not going to do it. And the other story with this fight is Michael Chiesa missed weight for the first time in his career. He only missed it by 1.5 pounds. I mean, he wasn't one of these guys that were trying to miss weight.
Nah, you clearly know it wasn't intentional with him.
So he's moving up to welterweight. He's a big guy in the lightweight division, so his frame should fit in okay at welterweight.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going to stack up. We'll find out.
We'll see what happens. He needs to put some more size on in the meantime.
Yeah, if he's going to be in the 170 division for sure.
It'll be interesting to see who they give him out of the gate. Because he's been on quite a roll. He doesn't fight that often, but he's won a lot of his fights. So,
yeah, before the last, I think he's lost the last 2, hasn't he?
No, that was his first loss in a while.
Well, he lost to Kevin Lee, and then I thought he came back, and then he lost to.
Oh, I'm not. He didn't lose to Kevin Lee. That's a draw. He was losing that fight, but he didn't tap. He tapped for sure this time.
Yeah, 5 times.
Yeah, he tapped. I seen him tap before the ref even saw him tap. So.
Oh no, he tapped 5 times. We counted it. I think he tapped 5 times before the ref. I mean, I thought "Let Him Die" was in there for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
No, "Let Him Die." "Let Him Die" is holding down PFL now. So.
That's right.
Let's move on to the motherfucking fight of the night.
Yes. God, what a fight! One of my favorite.
Platinum versus Paul Felder, baby.
Wow, that fight was what Savage MMA Show is all about, man.
Fight of the night.
Was absolutely epic. That's one of the best fights of the year. Like, that was absolutely outstanding.
It is, man. That's got to be thrown right up into the discussion for fight of the year.
Hell yeah.
It's on the short list.
Awesome.
As far as I'm concerned, so far this year, there's only been 3 fights worthy of being on that list, and this is one of them, up there with the one, Yoel Romero, Robert Whitaker, and the Poirier Gaethje.
And Bosniak and the Russian Goat Spider.
Those 4 are the only 4 fights that deserve consideration. Paul Felder, Savage of the Night, no doubt, in the loss, actually.
Yeah, we've been shitting on Paul Felder a lot, so we'd like to apologize. You're a fucking savage, Paul Felder.
Broke his arm and his hand.
Broke his hand, had a hematoma on his fucking head, had a giant gash that looked like he got stabbed on next to his eye.
And he still kept going. The dude was throwing punches with a broke arm and hand.
He threw a fucking elbow.
With a broke
back. Yeah, spinning elbow with a fucking broken arm.
Savage.
Yeah, true savage. 100%.
And Platinum Perry looked good. He didn't finish Paul Felder, which
Apparently, I don't think you can finish Paul Felder.
I'm not going to knock Perry because he brought the fucking violence.
They both did. Oh, my God.
Perry was banged up, too, after the fight. Let's not get it twisted.
I'd be happy as hell to see those 2 fight again.
I don't think we will, though, because that was that catchweight fight.
I know.
Because it was on short notice for Felder.
What a war, though. What a great fight.
Because that was Paul Felder fighting up 2 weight classes, by the way.
Yeah, and he held his own, too.
Yeah, that was funny, man. As soon as they came out, they banged heads and busted each other open before the fight even really got started.
Yep. I mean, it just set the tone for a bloodbath of a fight.
Yeah, man.
Paul Felder, though, man, like that just shows true grit, toughness, all the above, man. Like, just such an impressive performance.
You know, and that's a guy that every time a fight drops, it doesn't matter what weight class it's in. If there's a big time fight out there, Paul Felder he wants to get in there and get it.
Exactly. He was wanting Khabib. I remember when Al Iaquinta ended up getting it.
And now, looking back, he may have put on a better fight than Al Iaquinta.
Hell, Paul Felder might have won the fight because Khabib breaks people, and I don't know if you can break Paul Felder. Let's be honest.
Yeah, man, when you fight Khabib, it's just such a grind. You know.
Yeah, he wears you out. It's like fighting a big grizzly bear.
So Platinum Perry delivers. Paul Felder delivers. No loser in this fight, in my opinion.
Hell no. That was absolute fight of the night. Not even anything close to it.
That's just how you elevate your status as a fighter. Some shit like that.
Yeah, both of those guys.
I think Perry will get a chance now to get back in the rankings at middleweight.
He has to.
I don't know who you put him up against. One of these dudes down here at the bottom, Cesar Ferreira, Christoph Jocko, Elias Tordo. Somebody down there. Give him one of those guys.
Any of those guys. I think Mike Perry would beat any of those guys.
Yeah, he had a couple slip-ups, but we think that we've talked about it before. It was more to
He lost some very questionable, I can't believe some of the people he lost to in the last year and a half. You know, like some of the guys, he just is so much better than.
I think it was his life situation and his training situation.
Yeah. His girlfriend situation, being in his corner, is I think was a huge negative on him.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him move on from that. I think
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, he'll be a better fighter because of it.
Yeah, so fight of the night, Perry versus Felder, Savage of the night, Paul Felder. Congratulations. Sorry for bringing you down for so long.
Yeah, well, we just didn't know anything about Paul Felder. Like, you and I really never watched him. We thought he was like the UFC's puppet because he's always on like these low budget trash FS1 events where he'll be like the announcer, and you're just like, who the fuck is Paul Felder? Well, we found out who Paul Felder is. He's a fucking savage.
Yes, he is. I'll tell you who's not a savage.
Who's that?
Francis Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou has some mental issues. He's
So
got some head issues, man. I think that I think he was having flashbacks to Stipe beating his ass.
well, have you seen his
January.
have you seen his statement since the fight?
I didn't even look at it. What did he say?
He apologized for the fight, said that he came into the fight with fear in his heart, or something, some shit like that. He had fear. I've carried my fear from the last fight to this one, is what Francis Ngannou said.
Maybe he's just not meant to be in the UFC. Maybe that's really what the point is there.
The quote is, "I'm not proud of my last performance. I've carried my fear from the last fight to this one. I completely understand the frustration and anger that it has caused to my fans, coaches, teammates, family, and friends, and I'm truly sorry for that. I won't let everyone down again. All I can do now is prove myself and make you proud again."
I'm sure he'll bounce back, and whoever he fights next is probably going to get fucking murdered. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah, dude, but you're not giving him anybody good at this
No,
point.
so like he's going to run through whoever it is. Like it's going to be some dude that he's going to just absolutely massacre.
Yeah, that's...
So whoever Ngannou's next opponent is, you're on notice because you already know what it's going to be like.
I'll tell you, we give him some bullshit like Diapers Albini.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or
He'll be
Stefan,
writing his eulogy.
or Stefan Struve.
I would be okay seeing Struve and Ngannou.
You know the fight I would actually want to see, but they don't need to make this fight until Francis Ngannou rebounds, is I want to see Francis Ngannou versus Tai Tuivasa.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, if we just throw out that last fight, which was an abomination, and we get Francis Ngannou that we know, I would love to see that.
And there's only one Tai Tuivasa. Like, you're not going to get him coming into a fight and being, inactive.
Tai Tuivasa is one of the most fun fighters in the whole entire mixed martial arts world. Can't wait to watch him fight again.
Actually, I tell you what would be
What if
awesome.
he'll come out to the Titanic again?
What if we throw down at that UFC event in Australia coming up this year? Mm-hmm. What about Mark Hunt versus Tai Tuivasa?
I was thinking the same thing, dude.
Wow, that would be awesome.
Because to me, Tuivasa is kind of like a Mark Hunt, like a young Mark Hunt. Honestly, that's who he reminds me of. Like a young, more polished Mark Hunt. Honestly.
Yeah, and on the other end, we got Derek Lewis. There's nobody left for him to fight.
I mean, Derek Lewis has to get his back situated right now. We might not see Derek Lewis anymore.
Beyond that, the only guys ranked ahead of him, besides Ngannou, were Curtis Blades, Volkov, and Overeem.
3 guys he wants no part of.
Yeah, I think this is his ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, there's no way he won't beat Volkov. Not a chance.
To be honest, Derek Lewis's next fight is probably going to be Stipe.
It might be. But Stipe will bounce back and destroy Derek Lewis.
He will.
Oh, Lord.
So,
whoever fights Stipe next is also, your life is in his hands because he's going to fuck you up. It doesn't matter who it is. If Stipe is going to be mad, he's going to be motivated. You're going to get a whole different Stipe than what we saw on Saturday.
So one more thing to mention before we move on to the Stipe DC fight. Yeah. Joe Rogan said that this was the worst heavyweight fight he's ever seen in his entire life.
Oh, the Ngannou and Derek Lewis?
Yeah.
Well, it was. I mean, it was pathetic, man.
You ever seen Herb Dean step in and threaten to take points away for 2 dudes not fighting?
I've never seen a referee do that in any fight I've ever watched. And I've watched
either, man.
A ton of mixed martial arts.
That's embarrassing.
I mean, who would have ever thought of all the people in the UFC that it would be those two that would happen to? Like, that's just crazy to me to even think that.
Yeah, I would have never thought that. We thought this was going to be the most electric fight on the card.
And they talked so much shit to each other leading up to the fight. It just pisses me off that they didn't perform.
Exactly.
Like, how are you going to run your mouth this whole fucking time for months and months and months, and then you give us that. That's the product we get? Like, fuck that. That's garbage. They should never get put on a pay-per-view again.
I don't know, man. That's kind of harsh.
Until they show something, I think both of them should be. Well, Derek Lewis is a little bit lesser penalized because his back was fucked up and he was still fighting. So like, props to Derek Lewis for even fighting in the fight. But Ngannou, you cannot let Ngannou get on a pay-per-view until he shows what the fuck he can do. Like, he should be on like a permanent suspension until he like puts another one of those highlight, holy shit, he killed Overeem knockouts. I'm just disgusted with him, man.
Yeah, so these guys don't deserve any more of our fucking time.
No, moving on.
Stipe versus DC. What do you say?
God, I was so depressed. I was so depressed. So sad. I mean, I don't like to be biased, but obviously everybody knows who we were going for.
Yeah.
And it was just a little bit disheartening to see him lose his title.
It was, but
the guy I really don't feel is on his level. But it is what it is.
Cormier obviously put the time in to study what Stipe does, and he got him in the position he wanted, and got the finish.
I don't really understand what Stipe's game plan was, because as a bigger, stronger, taller, longer guy, stay the fuck away from him.
I don't think he should. That's what I thought the game plan was not to really even get in close quarters with Cormier. Use your length and just keep him outside, or get him on.
Make him come to you. Make him come to you.
Even if you go to the ground, possibly. I think Stipe could have done fine on the ground with Cormier, but don't let the guy get in close quarters with you where he can use his, because we all know Cormier's dirty boxing. His pure boxing's not that great. But when he gets in a grapple, he can dirty box the fuck out of dudes. And this isn't the first time we've seen this. So I think Stipe slipped up and DC capitalized on it.
That's all. I mean, that's all there is to it.
And
it wasn't pretty. It wasn't a good fight. Like, it wasn't a fun fight to watch. It wasn't like there wasn't.
Oh, it
really
was
anything.
exciting. It had a big fight. It had the big fight feel. The building was on fire.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was a good fight to watch. It didn't last long, but
no,
that's beside the point.
Short-lived.
So DC gets the win. He's the double champ. We'll touch on the ramifications of him being a double champion later.
He's going to have to give one of those up.
Yeah, he'll have to. I don't think it's right.
He's going to have to give up the light heavyweight. That's what's going to have to happen.
Most likely, because it's Gustafson's time.
Oh, it's been Gustafson's time. I mean, there's arguably the Cormier fight and the John Jones fight with Gustafson were very razor close. They could have gone either way, and Gustafson didn't get the benefit of the doubt either time.
Right. So after the fight, we got some WWE action going on.
What a joke.
You want to tell me that wasn't scripted?
It was. All right. Let me tell you why it was scripted. You and I called it, we called it immediately. Why were they showing Brock Lesnar coming into the arena?
As soon as that happened, we said
why did
Brock
he just
Lesnar
randomly come into the arena right before the fights were about to happen? Like, what the fuck, man?
He only came in during the Lewis and Ngannou fight. We said as soon as that happened, he's coming in the octagon after the fights are over.
Right. I mean, it was obvious. And then, of course, they're going to have them, scuffling just so the UFC can make that. They're trying to make that bank. I mean, we know what it is.
That's all it is.
It's a money grab. This is essentially the UFC's version of. This is basically yet another Mayweather-McGregor sort of situation. Is what it is.
Oh, but nowhere near as good.
But no, because Cormier's because if we go on the streets right now, you and I, we could walk around and we'd be like, "Who's Daniel Cormier?" And probably 0 for 1,000 would be like, "I don't know who the fuck that is." Just is what it is. But
yeah.
Cormier's about to get paid, though.
Cormier is about to get paid. My excitement for this level for that fight's probably lower than the Stipe DC fight.
My excitement for that fight's not very high at all because I think that it's complete bullshit that he's getting a title fight.
I don't think Lesnar has anything for fucking DC or Stipe for that
he's
matter.
He's going to get embarrassed. I think any of the top-level heavyweights would crush Brock Lesnar. We've seen this movie before.
Yeah, he didn't look good against Mark Hunt. He only got the win because Mark Hunt has zero ground game. And has never had any ground game.
Any of the top 5 outside of maybe Ngannou, Brock Lesnar's getting fucking destroyed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he exploited a hole in a guy's game that's been fighting for 20 years. I mean, congratulations, good for you. You're not that good, man.
I mean, it's a hype show. He's gonna get beat, and then everyone will act like Cormier is the greatest fucking dude of all time because he beat Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar is name value only at this point.
Yeah, but I see, and he's not exactly young either. What is he in, like his high 30s?
Who, Lesnar or Cormier?
Yeah, Lesnar.
Yeah, Cormier's about to be 40.
They're both, yeah. I mean, they're both older. So, like, who the fuck cares? Like, I want to see real product. I want to see, like, you and I are purists. You know, we want to see, like, the guys who deserve to be in the titles. But we know that's never going to be the case.
Oh, Lesnar's 40.
Okay. Yeah, so we got 2 40-year-olds banging it out. What the fucking doodah, man.
I mean, obviously we'll watch it, but I'm not going to get over the moon hyped for it like they're trying to sell it off as.
No, I'm not that excited about it anyways because I just think it's like it's not. It just doesn't do much for me, to be completely honest with you.
Now, the logistics of the fight, Brock just now re-entered the testing pool. This fight cannot happen until January.
It's not even a guarantee it happens because Brock Lesnar's probably on juice again, and he might end up getting fucking a failed drug.
Well, I was talking to this about to somebody that I work with that watches a lot of WWE, and they said Lesnar's physique has been slipping lately. Over the last,
probably because he's probably been kind of
over the last few months. So
he's been slowly taking himself off the juice.
That's what I said. Yeah, he's probably been cycling off the juice. So
yeah, because he wants to get back in the UFC. That's why.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I have one response to this talk about about DC being the top 5 ever, and that's John Jones. Or DC being the best ever, and it's John Jones.
John Jones.
And I'm going to read you a tweet that John Jones sent out after that fight.
I mean, let's be honest, man. Like, if you and I were given a pound-for-pound number 1 in the world, who would it be?
Top 5 pound-for-pound?
Of all time. Yeah. Or
all time?
Yeah,
John Jones.
Exactly. I mean, you and I are on the same page on this. Like, we both think John Jones is the best.
It's John Jones, Mighty Mouse, Conor McGregor, GSP.
Agreed. That's a top 4, easy top 4. That's an easy top 4. It's a little murkier after that. But yeah.
There's a lot of guys you could throw in after that, but those, probably Anderson Silva.
Yeah, the whole steroids thing kind of fucked him up for me.
Yeah, but probably for me, man, he was the most exciting dude to watch in his time for me.
See, John Jones was my boy, like for a long time. Like he was my favorite. Him and GSP both.
Did you see his tweet?
Read it. Go ahead and read it because I definitely want to hear it again.
Just keep in mind that life is a journey and not a race. If it's in God's will for me to still be here and healthy, please believe that there'll be many more fights to come. Let's not forget I'm still the youngest guy in the top 5 at heavyweight and light heavyweight.
Yeah, I can't wait till he's back, man.
John Jones,
I'm so excited to see him fight again.
He's not hit 30 years old yet, man.
That's crazy. Like, I didn't even think about that until I saw that tweet. Like, it's mind-blowing that he's not even 30 years old yet.
Just, come on, USADA. Just give us John Jones back.
If he did something other than what he did, like, I don't have a problem with it. You and I morally don't give a shit about that. Like, that, we think that's just, it is what it is.
I don't care if he does cocaine.
No, I don't either. Like, who cares?
As long as he's not doing it, like, during the fight.
Right. As long as it's not a performance issue and it was just more like it was John Jones' birthday and I felt like doing a little coke, So the fuck what?
Okay, I take that back. John Jones is 30.
Okay, well, still super young.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if he's doing coke and having some fun, man. Get out of here with that bullshit.
He wants to be like, if he wants to get on the Wolf of Wall Street shit.
And he failed for Tyrannoball, which stays in your system for months. No way he's going to do Tyrannoball before a fight that he knows he's getting tested for, man. There's no way.
He did dirty coke.
And Tyrannoball is not even a steroid that really has huge payoff. So I don't really see that.
I don't think he smoked bad, or he did some bad coke. That's all. That's all there is.
He did some bad coke. That's all there is to it. Give us John Jones back.
I don't understand why he's getting punished for this, because it's not even I get cocaine is illegal, but it's not a fucking big deal to me, because it's not a performance enhancer unless he did it right before the fight. Like, who cares? Like, let him fucking back in the fucking UFC, guys.
Let DC
we want our boy back. We want our boy back.
Let DC beat fucking Brock Lesnar, and then let John Jones finish DC's fucking career off the way he has tried to the last 2 times.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. I think you just read into the future. Because John Jones is going to do everything he can to get a fight with DC before he retires, so he can whip his ass 3 times in a row.
I think we need to make a new rule that you can't be a simultaneous champion in 2 divisions.
I agree. I'm tired of the double belt because it causes up one of the divisions every single time.
Can win
Honestly, it causes them both up.
I don't have a problem with you winning the double belt, but once you win you have to relinquish one of the 2.
Yep. And that leads to the fact that I think he's going to have to, because Cormier is going to be one to go for that big money, he's going to have to give up that light heavyweight.
And Gustafsson put out a statement today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fight me or let the belt go. I agree.
Let the belt go. Let the belt go. Gustafsson deserves a title shot. He deserves a title shot. He's been just absolutely destroying everybody in his path. There's no question he deserves a title shot. And he's been the closest person I've ever seen to fight Daniel Cormier and John Jones. To the closest fights I've ever seen.
Yeah. Man.
Gustafsson fight, though?
He's fighting Volkan Oezdemir.
Yeah, but who would?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Gustafsson's fighting Volkan Oezdemir.
Yeah, he is, but, let's say Cormier gave up the title. Who the fuck would Gustafsson? Who deserves a shot against Gustafsson for the championship? Volkan doesn't deserve it. Oh, a little bit of Volkan Oezdemir to use. Charges dropped, so that fight will happen.
Yeah, charges dropped. I was going to get to that next. Yeah.
Yep.
Alir Latifi, he won't fight him, though.
Yeah, he won't fight him because it's his fellow countryman. I think that's the reason why he didn't fight him in the first place.
I think you'd have to then you got John Blachowicz, Manawa, and OSP. OSP has the best chance of any of those guys against Gustafsson.
I mean, I'd love to see OSP and Gustafsson fight.
He should fight Alir Latifi, though.
He should, but I don't think it's going to. It should have already happened if that was going to be the case.
I think he has to fight John Jones. I
mean, is John Jones coming back as heavyweight or lightweight or light
both.
Heavyweight? Is he going to be both?
He's in both.
Okay.
Glover Teixeira, he already fucked him up.
There's your next double champ.
It would have to. John Blachowicz is the highest ranked guy, but
he would get ran through, though. Gustafsson would destroy him, I think.
I definitely don't feel like he deserves the ranking he has. Even he's already Gustafsson's already beaten him anyway.
Gustafsson's been
Gustafsson's beaten basically every.
It's insanity who he's beaten and who he's gotten close to beating.
Manawa's coming off losses to Oezdemir and Blachowicz.
Yeah, can't be Manawa. I mean, honestly, it probably has to be OSP and Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah.
But they're not going to let OSP have a shot because he just lost before he beat Tyson Pedro, he lost to Latifi.
And he's got,
and
also in the top 5, he's also got losses to Uzdemir and Manawa.
that division is an absolute shit show.
And he's lost to Glover Teixeira, so he's lost to everyone at the top of the fucking division.
What a disaster! What a disaster!
I don't even know what you do there.
I mean, you reinstate John Jones and let him win his title back. That's what you do.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to see him back, man. Like I've said it like 100 times. I'm so excited to see him back.
We have a big-time Bellator fight that's been booked, finally.
Oh, yeah? What do we have?
Matt Morichiron versus Ryan Bader.
Okay.
October the 12th.
Wait, is that the semifinals?
Yep.
So what's the other side?
Oh, Fedor and Chael Sonnen.
Fedor and Chael Sonnen?
Dude, Vanderlei said the other day he thinks Chael is going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, because he's his last opponent he won. That's just an ego boost. That's all that is. That's like saying, hey, the last guy beat me. He's going to be the world champ. Like, no, he's probably not.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Chael Sonnen wins the heavyweight Grand Prix. I'm going to be fucking pissed off.
Oh, me
I don't
too,
want to
man.
see that shit. I don't want to see that shit. Fuck all of that.
I have no interest in that.
He shouldn't even been in the tournament to begin with. Like, it's a joke he's even in the Grand Prix. Like, they couldn't have found at least one person better than him. Like, come on. Fuck that, man. So we get to see that's basically the championship, in my opinion.
Oh,
Mitrione and Ryan Bader.
Whoever wins that should win the title. Did you see Alir Latifi pulled out of his fight with Glover Teixeira?
No.
He had an injury. He pulled out of his fight with Glover Teixeira, and he's going to be replaced. Who was it replacing him? Oh, it slipped my mind. Damn it. He's being replaced by Corey Anderson.
Oh, okay. That could be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be all right. We've got another...
jumping up for joy about it. It's, I guess, decent. Fight.
Daniel Cormier says to fighters who are calling Brock Lesnar confrontation fake, stay broke. Fuck off with that bullshit.
Stay broke. That tells you all you need to know.
That tells you everything.
I mean, it was exactly what it was. And you also know Daniel Cormier is a giant WWE fan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. He's like the biggest WWE fan in the UFC. So, like, it's all a big fucking show.
Obviously. That's all I got for news. You got anything else?
Yeah, I have one little piece I was wanting to share with you. So, our boy Curtis Razorblades, not happy about the whole Brock Lesnar shit.
Well, he shouldn't be.
So Curtis, because he and Volkov, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Volkov and Curtis Blades are the ones who deserve the next in line for that heavyweight championship.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, not even a doubt in my mind about that.
And now one of them are going to have to fight Stipe in a non-title fight, probably.
Yeah, probably. So here's what he said. I would destroy Brock Lesnar. What's to be scared about? What's he going to do, out-wrestle me? No. He's definitely not going to outstrike me. He hasn't won a fight in 8 years. I'd be pissed if they gave Stipe a rematch. Brock, that makes no sense. And then he really goes in right here. He said, it reeked of WWE, and I don't like that. I understand that this is an entertainment sport, but we have to be careful that we don't want to overvalue someone's marketability over their production in the cage. I want to be judged on the merit of my victory, not on the smack that I talk. They don't care about your ranking. They just want to sell the fight. That's not fair. The number one priority should be to win the fight. I shouldn't have to make my case. It should be common sense. Congratulations, and thank you, Curtis Razorblades. That was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything he said there.
No, everything he said right there was dead on, true, sad but true, and fantastic.
The only disagreement I have is I personally think that Stipe does deserve the rematch because he's proven already he's head and shoulders above the rest of that division.
Yeah, that's the only argument that can be made. But the only reason Stipe is not getting a title shot, an instant rematch, which he deserves, because I think if you defend your title like a couple of times over again, I think you should have like an instant rematch clause. Like you should be able to be like, all right, well, I want to run it back because, I deserve that fucking credibility.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, oh, well, Brock Lesnar is going to bring us a whole lot more money and notoriety, so we're going to go with that. That sucks. It sets a bad precedent for everything else. The same shit as Conor McGregor going to get to Khabib. It's all about that cash, man. It's all about that straight cash.
That's all it is.
Nothing else.
That's all it is. That Randy Moss. That straight cash, homie. All right, man. If you guys missed us after the fights, we did a live stream of a post-fight show on YouTube. We had a good time with that. Our buddy Jacob was on there with us. Whenever we watch fights together, we'll do that going forwards. That was pretty fun.
You know what my favorite part about that was?
What's up?
It was trashing Luke Rockhold's outfit.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even mention that. What the fuck was Luke Rockhold wearing?
First of all, well, I've discussed this already, but anyone that didn't hear it, listen up. Why are you wearing a sweatshirt and white pants in motherfucking July in Las Vegas, Nevada? It's like 100 degrees out there. What the fuck were you thinking?
I never knew that Luke Rockhold had a second profession as a gay French sailor.
He does.
Never knew.
That is so true.
Fuck off, Luke Rockhold. We've ran
you
into we've ran you into the ground here every chance we've gotten.
Yeah, you used to be one of our favorites, and then you started not giving a fuck about winning and started caring about other bullshit that shouldn't matter. And now you're a fucking joke now. Yeah.
So there's no PFL this week. We do have a Bellator card and a UFC card this weekend.
The Bellator card is as ugly as Luke Rockhold's sweater.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the UFC card coming up on Saturday also. We'll do that. We'll do that when we come back with the Friday edition of the Savage MMA Show.
Right.
Like always, you can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Play Music,
Stitcher,
Podbean, MMApodcast.com.
Shout out to them.
I mean, you can find us anywhere except for
Spotify.
Spotify
hates it.
We got to get that situation rectified with Spotify.
Yeah, it would be nice. I would like to have Spotify too.
Yeah, we're on all these places. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Twitter, at Savage MMA Show across the board.
Everywhere.
Follow us on Instagram. That information's in the podcast description. Find us on there. We'll be back with you Friday to break down this weekend's action. Till then, stay savage.
Stay savage, motherfuckers.